Ian thought this was going to be like only 45 minutes of us talking. I already know right now this is going to be like an hour because I'm already feeling it.
Okay.
I'm just putting it out there. I'm just saying.
I mean, is that a good thing or bad?
It's
thing?
amazing,
Okay.
Cameron. I love you. So this is Cameron. My name is Corey. We're going to be talking about the Halloween movies today. And you should be listening to us and nobody else because whatever. So like and subscribe.
Okay, 2018.
So I remember hearing about it, and then it's like Danny McBride is like writing it, you know.
So it was me, you, and Bobo. I think we all went to go get it. I admit my expectations, but I was like, but you, like, I don't know. I kind of wonder, was my expectations so low?
Did we watch it in theaters or
Yeah,
did we watch it at home?
No. We
on
watched
Peacock or whatever.
No, I don't. I mean, 2018. No, we were out. This is pre-COVID, so we're out at the theater. I swear to you. I remember going to. I'm pretty sure that was the Halloween thing. Yeah, Valley View.
Okay.
Valley View Grand 16. Did you have high expectations?
I thought the beginning was really cool. How it was going to be, you know, wasn't showing his face, but it was showing him in a hospital, and the build up and just the tension and the fucking dogs barking and just that everything in that scene, and then it keeps going on, and I don't know, and then you get your Laurie, and I don't know. I want to segue and change subject almost, where it's just like I was thinking last night. Where it's like, wouldn't have been cool if it went almost in like T2 style, where she was in a mental institution talking like her whole life that Michael's going to come back, or was she in a mental institution in the first one?
Well, see,
then she's at the house and it's just all, and her granddaughter thinks that she's crazy, and the whole town maybe thinks she's crazy.
Yeah, she has that cat lady vibe about her, but they mentioned in since watch it, like I said last night, the reason I can remember it, they mentioned her daughter getting taken away, and that's it. Her in a mental institution, but obviously she can't leave it behind. People know of her. The daughter tries to understand. I mean, I'm sorry, the granddaughter. Which is, and I looked her up, and I can't think.
That's the thing about it too. Like I've seen these movies like 4 or 5 times now, and like we know Laurie, we know Michael, I know maybe the cop in like the first and second one now. Like I don't remember his name.
William Patton.
Okay.
Yeah. Which he was in Armageddon, and
he was the first one who like didn't shoot him. Like he felt like he should have shot him, but he shot the partner instead.
Yeah,
that was
that's in this.
And that's the best part of the second one, which we'll get to.
Well,
the only good part.
I was gonna say, everybody, I watched the behind the scenes on it. I was like, okay, let me take a look at this. 2018 behind the scenes, still staying on this. I was like, I've seen this all before. Oh yeah, I was like, this, special features for H2O. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's like, is it really that original? I mean, she was an alcoholic in that one. That one did something different. It took it out of Haddonfield.
It's not like she has like that super of a character arc or whatever.
Well, yeah, no. I mean, I think it's a better written character in 2018.
Yeah. It's super serious. Like they try to be more serious about it.
Really grounded. But it's not original. You know what I mean? It's like something like this hadn't been done. Getting rid of all the timeline. I'm like, yeah, it has. Like you guys did it.
I mean, I like Michael's stalking. Like those are my favorite parts. I think in the first movie is him just like going through the houses and like getting these victims. And I like that one kid dying with like those lights going on and off. Like that was a pretty cool scene. But just like Michael's stalking people in general is like my favorite parts from that. And like all I can remember, that I can take away from, watching it as many times, it's not a bad movie, but just like it doesn't stick with you. It's not that's the thing about maybe just Halloween though. I mean, there's a lot of movies from Halloween, and I mean, he does not speak, but you don't want him to speak. You don't like, that's his whole thing, is like, that's his motivation, is just, he's evil. And he just, I don't know.
So, I mean, but it went along for you the same formula as was you a fan of the first one, I guess? I ask you that too.
Like
before I ask
Carpenter's
you this.
Halloween or
yeah,
the
yeah,
first
like
one?
so 78. Did you watch that one growing up?
Big
So
time.
and
Yeah.
scared you?
Yeah.
Right? That's because that's.
scare. I mean, just
I don't know. To me, it did. That's what became my favorite. Like it was like I could
It
watch
was-
any other horror film. I had to cut the lights on. For
I
that
thought it
one.
was just really cool. Like
But,
I
yeah,
felt
super
like
cool.
it's almost like a song that you hear and you're like that's an amazing song. Like I want to go home and play it. And you go home and look at the chords and it's so simple and you can play it. I felt like watching that. It's like I wouldn't say like I can make that movie, but it's like it just there's something just simplistic about it.
Well, I think that's what works for it. The
Yeah.
simplicity.
And
But-
just I don't know. It's just really
The first time you watched 2018, did you like it?
Yeah.
Like you came out and you was like, okay, I like
I did, and I was thinking, how's Michael going to get out of the basement on fire and just
There's
how
expectations.
and
for
that's when
two.
the daughter, isn't it Judy Greer, that's like surprises you like motherfucker and like shoots him or whatever. Is that the first
Yeah,
one?
that's the first
Yeah,
one.
so that's
it's
cool,
like, mom,
'cause I
mom,
didn't-
I can't do it.
I didn't really see that coming, but like it was cool.
like-
if
I mean-
there was the doctor that was almost like that took over after Loomis, is that what it was too? And that was the whole thing in the first one.
What you think, that's a red herring. What you think is going to be the new Loomis. Dr. I want to say, is it Zartane?
I don't remember his name. I
Zartan?
just remember him
I don't
looking
say
like
Zartan.
mad scientist looking
Show
with like
a
the
clip of
long
G.I.
hair
Joe.
and stuff. And like you almost thought for a second,
Yeah,
like,
it's
is
the
he
red
gonna be
hair-
Michael
yeah.
Myers now or whatever?
That scared me. When he popped it with
It's
mask, I was like,
this
oh
is
man,
gonna
we're
be
going
so
back to a
terrible
cult.
if they do that. But they didn't do it.
We're going back with the cult thing.
Was that the
But they
third
didn't.
one?
Yeah, no. The cult, Halloween
that
6.
Paul-
Curse. Yeah, Paul Rudd.
Yeah, Paul Rudd one.
That's Tommy. Which, yeah, we'll get into that in some. But
We'll get into that.
and
That's
then
what I'm saying.
and then so it was him. I mean, like my expectations. Also, a reason I love, let's say, like Halloween 1 and 2, John Carpenter's.
Yeah.
Is Donald Pleasant and chewing that scenery. I love it.
Michael,
And yeah,
get away from there.
what does he say to Lonnie and his friends? He's like, I forgot what he said.
Get the hell away from there.
Great lines, and you love that, and that's what I hated about Rob Zombies. But in this one, you don't have a Loomis, and it's like, okay, I mean, like I get it. That's what you've had in every single one. They take this out of it.
Yeah.
They have like the doctor, but I
they
guess you
don't
could
have
almost just say
Loomis.
Hawkins is a Loomis.
Yeah, and like they go in kind of like those first few scenes, and like that's cool, and the teeth dropping, and after that, you meet him and stuff, and Michael drives again. He drives a lot. He's a great driver. And,
He does. He drives in 2018. But I think he drives 2 cars.
Yeah, and gets back to town.
It brings it back to Haddonfield, which is cool. I mean, you didn't see that in H2O.
Did it feel like fall and like October-y and Halloween-y?
I'm glad you asked the question.
Halloween-y.
Yeah. That's no. I'm glad you asked that because I was like, oh man, this is a question I want to ask myself. As I was watching it last night, I said that's why I love Halloween, the first one, because it makes me feel like I'm there in suburbs. I know I don't like watching behind the scenes on it because they'll tell you, hey, it's in this part of California, and it's like ugh. But no, I mean it makes you feel like fall, and yeah, 2018 did.
It does.
It does. You have
What are the
nice
opening
neighborhood.
sequence again? How does that is it the pumpkin like rots or something like that? Is that
So-
what it is? Just like a time lapse of like the pumpkin rotting?
I mean, it's a reverse time lapse of the pumpkin rotting.
It's
And
badass, though.
So we have in 2018.
Yeah, I really like it.
It's
It's cool. And then they do it for the second one in a different way, and who knows what we'll get for the third one. I haven't watched Halloween Kills recently, but like I've seen it enough, and I mean my big takeaways from that one are kind of like that mob and just like Michael killed a lot of people. And he killed those firefighters right in the beginning.
Yeah, breaking.
Picking up where it left off. But the best fucking part of like the second one is most definitely going back to that original night. Just the way it was shot, his mask and just the grain of the film look and everything just took me back to that Carpenter's first film and that night of the first one, and it was fucking awesome. It was the best part of the second movie, I think.
I think also it made me feel like with that wide angle lens, and then
Yeah.
like the one shot. Forgot to mention all
It shows
those
Loomis
things.
on the porch too, doesn't it?
I don't know. I know it does.
Like, it zooms
Resurrection.
out and like shows Loomis on the porch, I think.
Oh well, and you're talking about the second one. I
Yeah.
mean in the first one, like when those first kills. Remember when he runs into the kids, and we get
Yeah.
the new kind of sound. It's kind of like it's the same old. I shouldn't say that. It's just a revised, it's not remastered, but it's revised, version of it, like John Carpenter's
Is it the
theme.
first one with the kid clipping his toenails?
Yes.
And, like,
Yeah.
That's a good scene.
Did you? I was like, I think we're talking about Danny McBride and David Gordon Green.
He was
I
a
think
good
some of the
little
humor.
actor.
I think some of the humor took me out of it.
I think it's just kind of who's in that role and just. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis is Laurie, but it's just like.
You got the
And
cops
you're always
with their
Michael's in
Bonzi
the mask,
bread.
but it's like who else is in it? And it's like that's kind of it. And it's like where can Halloween keep going? And that made me think like of the one that had Busta Rhymes in it. What was that one?
Resurrection.
I mean, let's go back
which is the 8th one.
Go back and think though that like I mean,
Chronologically.
where can you take it? And it's like, well, that could be kind of a smart idea. I'm sure reality television's going on at the time, and that's a good smart way of incorporating Michael Myers. But it's like maybe you look at it now and just the cast and everything about it. It's just I don't know.
Well,
That's
also
why
we're
these
looking
second
at, like,
ones are so
teenagers,
serious,
like,
though.
yeah.
Maybe it's like, and they're so, I think, just more hardcore and just, I don't know. They're not bad, but they're not going to live on. They're better than zombies. They're better than H2. I think they're better than H2O and.
Yeah, but and I think that comes from the direction of it, and the cinematographer, how they try to match John Carpenter.
Yeah.
I mean, they put their own stuff in it. They don't do some of the close-ups that he did and stuff like that.
I mean, did Carpenter do music for the previous ones at all?
Okay, so he did music for the first one.
I mean, like
the second, and then I think he did. I think he was a producer on the third one and did the music, which was like an electronic type score for Halloween 3. I think that was it. I could be wrong, and we'll check this.
Yeah, it'll be
whether that. But he comes back for 2018 and Halloween Kills, and
Yeah. So I think that's
and
saying
so-
something.
Yeah.
Because I
I mean,
also
well-
remember hearing a story about like Rob Zombie calling him up and he's like, who? He's like, Rob Zombie. He's like, your name's Zombie? like he could have gave a shit. So it's like for him to be in this, giving his, contribution to the film and stuff, that's saying something to what maybe he thought of them making this, this movie. And they have done well with it. It's not bad.
Well, when you
it's-
say that, I have a Fangoria magazine still that's him giving his consent for H2O though too. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad. That's not. I'm not using that as a like this one's no. H2O was the best when it was made. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That was the best.
I mean, I guess
Sequel you could argue,
anything that's
or
going to have like
something
maybe
new.
Jamie Lee Curtis
Yeah,
involved.
that was the
it's gonna
first one
have
with
to
her
be-
back. Yeah, where she was even in the movie. So that more than 25 minutes, I think she's in the second one. But yeah, all right. Halloween Kills. Somebody, I guess the biggest complaint I hear is it's like this. All right, it's over the top, bloody, body killing everybody, never dying. I'm like, you're getting, and I said this to you before. I was like, you're getting a sequel of a sequel in a fourth timeline of sequels. I was like, this is where you go to, and it's as much as you can argue. Oh, well, it wasn't the first slasher film, 78. But it was the rising up of the mass slasher films in the 80s. It was. I don't care what anyone says. And so that's where you go to. That's what the rest of the Halloweens did, every single one. And that's what this one did. And I was fine with it, and I was expecting it. So it didn't bother me, is what I'm saying.
It doesn't bother me. It's not a bad movie. It just
it does get bad somewhere. That we start to lack in the second act.
we do, or you just get almost kind of bored with it, or you just want to maybe get to the scene, with him, with Laurie or whatever, and maybe you're just not so involved with Big John, Little John, even though that's kind of a funny scene that happens, and of just Michael going back to his original house, and
I would almost say that was probably a more entertaining scene, I think, than Anthony Michael Hall's scene, and it was Big John, Little John.
and
Funny
just
enough.
like that speech with Anthony Michael, all of them, I don't know, man, fucking
Yeah.
40 years ago.
Fine, I would buy it. Persons we're still buying the Laurie, traumatized by it, so other people are too.
But that,
But well, that's what I'm gonna say. They go to tie in, so they're tying in the original nurse.
yeah.
from '78, and she was on H2O. She came back for H2O. She was in the very beginning with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. So that was the original nurse. But anyway, so we bring her back, and it's like, okay, that's neat. But
Thanks for mentioning Joseph Gordon-Levitt. He was in a Halloween movie.
yes, we get a couple stars in it. But in the first film, we get Resurrection Christ Church, that's sitting in the gas station where Michael first gets those investigative journalists.
Yeah.
So you get that. You get the mask from Halloween 3, but it's real subtle. I mean, I think it is. You know what I mean? And then you get all these little him the first little victim with the woman where he gets her by a hammer, and then she was making a sandwich and he gets the knife. Well, in Halloween 2, like that's where he gets the original Carpenter's Halloween 2. That's where he gets a knife. He picks it up from a woman making a sandwich.
Then
she
there's
comes back and
I think it's maybe the second
puts
one.
a bunch of stuff in there. The second one pushes it together. This, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, long-windedly. Like it forces it too much. Like it's like we got Tommy, we got the nurse. It's like they're all together. We got the real Lindsay, who's on a Desperate Housewives show. Or
I
something.
don't know. Was that the girl in nurse's uniform?
No. No, the Lindsay.
Oh.
Like the other
brunette?
girl. Yeah.
The one who was like hiding in the park or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So we get, them. But
a lot of forgettable though.
Yeah.
Like that's just the thing. It's just a lot of forgettable.
let's shout out to
Even
to
like
the latest
multiple
Scream.
viewings, a lot of forgettable.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Let's give a shout out to the latest Scream and how unbelievably forgettable that was. Should have left it at 4. 4 was good. Anyway.
Well, maybe that's just the thing about a Halloween movie or a Jason movie, where it's these people don't talk, they don't, do stuff. So it's like it's got to be just kind of, well, what's the story? And it's just like, how much story can you have with these things? And
no, that's what I'm saying. That's why number 2, I don't have,
it's like why they just hang on Laurie so much, and it's just like.
It is the Laurie show.
Laurie's got to fucking go, man. Like, you got to get rid of her. Like, does she go in the beginning of this third movie, or does she go in the middle, the end?
All right, so we...
did Judy Greer died in the second one, right? Like, she died like right at the end of the second one.
Well, we assume she's dead, right? She got jumped by Michael.
If they're smart, she's fucking dead in the third one.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. The things we liked about the second one. I was going to say we could cut out. I don't know. I guess they liked the mob scene. Do you think that went in later?
I don't know. Maybe I'm giving it too much credit for the mob scene to be like, I feel like it's maybe just a touch on like current society, on how it can be like, maybe getting all this misinformation, and then it's just like you want to team up and maybe like storm the fucking Capitol or something like that, or,
I wondered if they just
take
filmed
over
a mob
Walmart or something.
I just wondered if they filmed a mob scene and then saw stuff like that and went back. It was like, yeah, let's leave this in because it goes nowhere. We got a guy committing suicide at the end. We get a death.
Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight.
If you want,
evil dies tonight.
What a horrible drinking game that would be.
You don't think I think evil dies tonight?
Evil.
Then fuck you.
Evil dies tonight. Everybody's got to say it, and everybody's got their own way.
It's like if you saw the preview, you almost saw the second movie, basically.
There you go.
Like you saw some great, killing sequences or whatever, and just some. Like I said, the beginning was the coolest part.
Slasher
I think,
film,
and worth the ticket of admission. That we watched the second movie, I think, here just on Peacock, right?
No, I think I talked you into going to the theater because that
was like
first. That was the first one back. You remember, and then there was those kids next to us. I was like, I'll let them slide. This dude looking at his phone, and as he cut it on towards the end, and I leaned up to him and I was like, "Sir," and then the movie was ending. I was like, "So."
I don't remember either times going to see Halloween.
I think it was the first film I saw back in theaters. From COVID. I thought it was with you.
I thought we made a big deal about being able to watch it on Peacock.
I think we did eventually watch it on Peacock.
I don't know, maybe.
But I'm a ticket stub. I'm gonna check on the ticket stub. But when we edit it, we're gonna put down at the bottom that
I'm sure I have ticket stubs for both as well. But whatever. I don't remember seeing it in the movie theater.
I say we did because it's in a downward spiral, and if they want to keep movie theaters alive,
somebody,
do something.
I think I heard something about saying the Valley View Grand was up like bankruptcy or something like that. I mean, I don't see how that place could be up and running when you have a place like that's up in Christiansburg or whatever.
Yeah, I haven't
you
been
know, with
there.
those fucking.
Never been there.
Do you know what hashtag is?
No.
When's the last time you have left Fincastle?
I have to go work in the big city, so I take off in the morning.
Man.
We don't got fancy things like street lights. No. But, yeah, so I guess, there's not much to say about 2. We got off. We can start talking about 2. Talking about 2, we end up going, and we talk about, when we say 2, specify it's 2 in this newest trilogy, Halloween Kills. So, but we go off into other things because we don't even want to stick on it. So in the third one, just quick predictions of it. I mean, I'm not a person that tries to delve into movies like that anymore. I don't care. It's like, I want to see something, but if I don't, it's like, okay.
I mean, where are we? It's like, when did we last see Michael in the second one? We saw him, kill that mob, basically, right?
Kill the mob. Then the last person killed was Judy Greer.
And then, was it the mob scene? And then he went to Lori and then got his hand fucked up again?
No, well,
and then he kills Judy Greer?
Yeah.
And then he stares through the fucking window?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, staring through the window is the last thing we see him do. So whatever happened to his
breathing?
hand.
You hear him breathing again?
Yeah, which is a common thing in all of them.
He's not. Would you call him supernatural? Is Michael Myers supernatural?
Well, I mean, I mean, if you want to talk about the original 6, yeah.
We're talking
in a sense. It's always it could be there, this old man haunts the woods.
That's other movies,
Jason,
putting
Freddy,
their spin on it to try to move along the series or whatever.
I mean, from the first, if you want to say just the first one to this one, no, but now we learn, well, if we're, going theological here, if you're going to go evil, then yeah, there's something supernatural inside of them or about them. So, yeah.
But it's in this timeline, so it's Loomis existed obviously in the first movie. They didn't go through with the second one, so it's there was really no other Loomis in this world of,
Hawkins is the closest thing you're going to get because he was there that night, but he's not working with Michael. But he's seeking to destroy it. Yeah,
and I don't dislike his character, but it's just I don't know.
I liked it. I thought that was the one, and yeah, so. But you asked...
I guess he's just in the hospital a lot, and just that's just what you see of them two, him and Lori.
And that's the other thing. People complained about Halloween 2. It's Lori being in the hospital. It's in this one, she's in the hospital. It's the second one in the trilogy.
Yeah.
The John Carpenter second one,
different.
She's in the hospital.
But there's not really... You don't get Michael Myers in the hospital in the second one, though, do you? You get, fake mob trying to... Who they think is Michael Myers in the second one.
So now we're getting... Yeah, to see how confusing
this goblin-looking guy or something like that.
Yeah. And the actor did a good job, whoever played him. I don't know. He looked scared and did... they did all their part. I mean, I don't think it was...
And I remember a scene, too, where it's she's
acting,
going back to her car.
It just didn't work.
Yeah, it's where, that goblin guy was in the car or something like that.
Yeah,
They
but we
gotta
didn't know
leave
that
the
at
bar.
that point. But we know it's not Michael.
I don't know. I'm just not feeling, so much that group of characters
that
maybe in,
subplot.
Lonnie. And I guess it's Lonnie and the boyfriend.
Yeah.
That's how it kind of intertwines all of them.
And we did, and I hate to say this, even just going back and noting it's good things. Them doing the original, everything CGI, you get a CGI Harold Ramis and everybody. But going back to the original night, like you said, again, you could have put that and said it was a deleted scene without me, I think it looks the best for something somebody put out today to make it look like it's 1978. And it does. It does. I took Loomis's voice. I thought it threw me off, but it was close enough, I guess.
I almost you almost maybe would this have been lame? Would this have been lame if there was this Loomis-esque character who's Loomis knows he passed away, right? His character, and if it's Loomis knows that Michael Myers still exists in this place, so he's got to tell this person, there's this guy, Michael Myers, here's his story, and he can maybe get out. And if he does, you got to stop him. Maybe if there was a character like that. Or who is a Tommy Doyle in Friday the 13th or something like that? Was
Tommy
he some
Jarvis?
sort of hero character who would kind of come in and be the fucking Van Helsing to, you know,
Well,
Michael Myers or whatever.
That's what he eventually.
But there's not a character. Well, maybe that's what the cop wants in like the second one or whatever. He wants that maybe redemption, I guess.
Yeah,
maybe,
that would be
maybe
a
that's
nice
what the
arc for
story
his
is or
character.
whatever.
That would be nice. But did we kill Laurie?
But I guess that's just not them doing a very good. I don't know.
Did we kill Laurie? We killed Laurie.
We fucking kill Laurie.
We get her out of the
Laurie's
scene.
out of here.
Yeah.
Laurie's got to go, but how does she go?
Michael.
I think that's what I
My
said
question,
to you.
I mean,
Is like I almost like see them like she sacrifices herself to kill him. Like I'm gonna kill myself on purpose to kill you, Michael. You know, is almost how it should go. Like drowning or fire or I don't know what. But I don't know. But it's got to go away. And like, how long should these Halloween movies go away? Should they take like a 4-year break? Should they take, or what if?
So I think it was 2009.
How many Halloween movies total have we had?
So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've had 12 so far.
Is that how many Friday 13th movies
We've had
there
12
been?
Friday 13th, including the remake.
That's-
And I'm counting Freddy versus Jason.
That's fucking wild.
So, but yeah, Freddy's a little less. So
Who wins in a fight? Jason Voorhees versus Michael Myers.
I guess I'd have to say Jason.
I think Jason wins too.
Yeah.
And it's sorry that it's like
Well,
that quick of an answer, but it's like I feel
Depends
like
on what world you're in, I guess.
let's call it in Michael's world to almost like even up the chances. But
it
it's
could be a chance for Michael.
maybe, but there's just something I don't know, man. It depends on how like grotesque or like fucking weird Jason is.
He takes a lot of bullets.
Takes a
in his
lot of
plastic.
damage,
Well, I was going to
and
say.
he is way more maybe supernatural.
Oh, yeah, definitely by number
And does
6 is where it becomes supernatural.
Does Jason like set up the bodies the way Michael does though in like some of the movies?
We don't. Yeah.
He
yeah,
does?
yeah. From the get go, his mom
I
did
think
that
they're
in
like
the first one.
Isn't it something like
that
I meant
was a
to
problem
totally
with
rip off
2018.
Halloween making?
Oh
Friday
yeah.
13th.
It was the first
right.
one was a total like, hey, let's rip it off, and they even to the point of like, let's rip off what teenagers would want to see. So it's like gratuitous nudity
Yeah.
and gore, and it's like, well, you go back and you look at the first Halloween, and again, we'll check this. But I don't think there's blood. The only blood in it, I think, is at the beginning where you see the sister. But other than that, I don't think we. Oh well, maybe Laurie getting cut. But yeah, there's not really like, you don't really see people get killed or blood, and there's only a few bodies. So I mean,
That's maybe what's going on in the 80s is like, we're not going to
But-
just reboot this,
Yeah.
but we're going to like totally steal your idea
Yeah,
and just
that's
like
the
do
80s
something else that's
completely.
kind of like
Yeah.
original.
What do we got? I mean, you got everything. I mean, after that one, you had, because nobody had ever used, well, I mean, Black Christmas was before Halloween, but
I don't know.
it was a slasher flick. In fact, I think John Carpenter
Did Carpenter
spoke about
mean
it.
for it to just be like a one-off sort of a thing?
I think that's
like
what
they
I'm
were
saying.
forcing him to make the second one or something.
They were forced
right?
to make a second one, and he got drunk, and that's what he came up with as a thing. John Carpenter, the first one was, okay, so this was his first, it wasn't his first film, I think it was his second film. Dark Star was his first one, which was a college film that ended up becoming, making a full-length film, so it wasn't, yeah, which I think Nick Castle, who was, the Shape in the first one, was also with him, who also made The Boy Who Could Fly. Nick Castle, director of that. But anyway, so yeah, him and Deborah Hill got together and wrote these things
Is
like
he-
The Babysitter Murders.
Is
I
he
think
the
that's what it's
actor
called.
in the newer movies? That's
They bring him back in 2018.
with like the gray hair,
So
and,
there's, yeah, I think they're.
But they don't show. They almost show the face a lot in the second movie, but they don't.
I tell you, I noticed in the first
See, that's the
one they
thing
show
too.
him
Do
more.
you ever see the face ever?
You do. You do see
No.
the face.
Wait, what?
In Halloween films,
You see Michael's face?
you see how his face in number
His face
one.
face.
His face in one. I mean,
we talking little boy?
Like, no, I mean, it's like it's another actor besides Nick Castle played him in every other part.
We
But
talking
seeing his face.
Michael's mask off.
Yeah.
his
I'll get
fucking
there.
face.
I'll get there. So Nick Castle plays him with his mask on. They got another guy to say, okay, come over here. You want us to look like. So it's in the first one, right before he gets shot by Loomis. Loomis comes up the stairs. She battles with him. She gets his mask off and his eyes shut for where she got him with the crochet needle. and he turns and you get his face, and then he turns back and puts on his mask. So you get and if you, again, we could even go into different versions of 78s, because if you do I think it's the 4K, it's a little messed up. It don't look like the dark ain't the dark. So when they lit his face in the background with a dimmer bulb, you don't get that effect. You get to see him there the whole time. But anyway, it's dimly lit, and then in Halloween 5. Like Michael cries a tear when Jamie comes out of the casket and was like, Uncle Michael, and like he's got like a ponytail type thing, and yeah, it's you don't really get to see his face in that, but you see his eye and you see a tear come down, which was done by.
Is that the one with the really white mask? It looks like brand new almost.
Man, I should know this. I think it's considered the worst mask. I don't know. 4 might be considered the worst mask because on the cover. For like the poster is good looking, but yeah, the
maybe
mask
4
in the
and
movie.
5 both.
4 and 5 was
suck
bad,
with
but
masks. God, what's 6 and 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12?
Okay.
There's fucking 12 of these movies. So like, all right, so 11 and 12 are the newest ones. So, and then what's before that?
No. Just 11 and 12 are the newest. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then it's not H2O. Which one is there stuff after H2O? You got
There's
Busta Rhymes one
you got the
after
Busta Rhymes,
H2O?
which is in that world of Halloween 1, 2, H2O, which is the 7th one, Resurrection the 8th. So it'd be like 4 movies in that timeline.
Damn.
1, 2, H2O, Resurrection.
So there was a lot made in the 80s. And then like maybe a few in the 90s?
2 was 81, and we'll check that. But 2 was 81, 3 was 83, pretty positive. 88, it was 10 years. This is when you get your good ones, every 10 years. Actually, if you look
Timeline
at
can
it.
go
Okay, here you
there.
go. 10 years, you get Halloween 4, which is a fun one.
Yeah.
And we can talk
Yeah,
about
I
it.
guess H2O is 20 years
and then,
after.
And then 10 years after that one, everyone was worse than that one.
We're
then you
fucking
get H2O.
old, man. 40
Then-
years ago, and there was
Oh,
H2O 20 years ago.
I do want to say this on Video Vision. Ooh, I just said it. Goosebumps. No, it was 98. They had come out with a 20-year special edition VHS, which I don't think had anything new, just like sound and maybe widescreen. But it came with a shirt. I called my grandmother. She picked me up from school in October, took me to get that at Saturday matinee in the mall, and took me back for football practice.
Man.
Fun note. Yeah. So I had that shirt for a good while. And then I think somebody took it or threw it away. I don't know, but I hate that. But it's a fun memory of Halloween. And
What are some favorite scenes from all of the Halloween movies? What are some that stick out to you?
I'm gonna go with the creepiest one, or the one that makes me. It's like number 1. Tommy's looking out the window, and it's like you're at. I don't know. You feel that you start off on Halloween Day, But so you have that stuff that happened before. Then you experience Halloween Day, and as a kid, you know that from the get-go, from when you got memory, Halloween. So Tommy, he's over with. It's popcorn time. Jack Lantern's a car.
Yeah.
Watching some movies. He's looking out the window, and it's just a bulb. The rest of the house is cut out. It's just the porch light on, and Michael is carrying around a body. I mean, it's wide enough to where the wide lens, and again, that was a big simplicity thing. Steadicam and wide lens is real big, first being used, especially with the Steadicam. But it feels like you're looking out the window and you're there, and it's an eerie feeling.
Yeah.
Not only with I guess. Like I said, it's technically not a slasher, blah, 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 actually crap. But, it's a slash. But for a slasher, it doesn't really do that. But it creates tense and moments like that with the feel, the look of it. Ugh.
I mean, I think it's like a lot of art where it's just like less is more. Like, I feel like if I was somebody who was able to, to make movies and like, here's this project I want you to make, I almost want to get them like no budget at all. It's like it's almost like the more money, the more bullshit, the more people who want to put their hands in and have to say this or that. So it's almost like
that's why you gotta give
I
it
want
to a
somebody who's like
competent
really
director.
passionate, about this project and wants to do something about it, and then it's like give them less money, and it's almost just then you can have a better story of like, wow, it was made for this, and then it made all this money before. So it's just, I don't know. It's almost like too much money was put into these movies, but I think it's.
I mean, to
but it
today's
wasn't though,
standards,
right?
no,
Like,
it
this
wasn't.
was a lower budget
Blumhouse
sort of movie
Yeah, Blumhouse
compared
did
to
it.
what's out there.
And we can put that up there at the bottom. And
But there's just still something like really slick about it still. And
It
just,
is.
You know, and just kind of bright about it. And it just doesn't kind of have that, I don't know. I mean, I guess it had that scene that I liked a lot, you know, with that one, you know, fat kid getting killed with the lights going on and off. And that seems, you know, that's
Oscar.
not a lot
He
of,
has a name.
Not a lot of production and stuff like that. These kids, fuck these kids, man. Like I said, we've seen these movies. I've seen them like 4 or 5 times now, and like
I think the
can't
director, he
remember
said
their
that was his
names.
favorite death. David Gordon Green was like,
But-
yeah. He said that was a fear of his, so he put it on there.
But this third one is just, I mean, where can it go?